But today is Monday. It's all about getting the week kicked off and rolling. And before we slide into hearing from some of you guys or kind of putting some game plan together, I'm going to make an announcement, and that is that this week and next week, the TRC REI Toolbox staff is at half capacity each week. I'm not saying that to discourage you from putting anything in. I'm actually saying that to encourage you to put something in if something came up that you need help from support, so that Roger and I can really test the system. Some of you guys know the deep details on what I'm talking about. Others just really doesn't. The details don't matter so much there. But this week is actually our big week. It's all of our heavy hitters, as Lorraine put it earlier. All of the heavy hitters are out. So off this week is Max, Nimitz, Itzel, Erica, Gab, and there's like one other one that's off. But those are the main ones that you guys normally hear or see or have communicated with. I have not spoken to them since Friday at the end of the day. I will not speak to them until Monday next week. So if you put something in this week and there's a little bit of a stumble and a roadblock, I'm asking for an early, I'm giving you an early apology and asking for an early forgiveness, but I also want you to do it because we need to make sure that our system is functioning the way that we've mapped it out and thought that it might work. Next week will be off. Roger and I will be completely out of pocket next week. We will not be doing anything with the business at all. There will be calls happening throughout the course of the week, very similar to before. Itzel will kick them off. It will be more open discussion and for you guys to chat amongst each other, or Itzel to kind of chime in from here and there if she wants to. But Roger and I will be pulling the plug and walking away for a week, and I will not even be checking emails or anything. The only thing I will be doing next week is Liz, Marie, Lorraine, Mickey. Our calls will still continue. Kim's not on right now, but our private calls will continue next week. That's the only thing I'm actually going to do next week. Sound good? So for me, my big thing, my whole focus this week is getting a few things in place before I step away for 7 days next week to make sure everything is in line. But for everybody else, this is really the last full week of February. Next Monday is the end of the month. And I want to get a finger on the pulse and find out how many of you guys are sitting pretty well for what you set out to have accomplished by the end of the month, or who's looking at it going, this is like go week. I got to hurry up and get myself caught back up. So I'm going to just kind of go around the horn and hear from you first. And I'm going to put Bud on the spot early because I missed him all last week when he wasn't around. I want to welcome him back from his COVID vacation and see how did that impact you, Bud, or did it actually work in your favor?
I feel special that you said you missed me in open forum. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Not very often do you get a Marine who says, hey, I missed you, Airman guy. So thank you for that. Yeah. I'm actually looking pretty good. Getting sick last week was or 2 weeks ago was one of the best things ever, because I was out in Pittsburgh at the time. And so as far as Q1 goals, looking good. I beat them at the end of the first month. And as far as year one goals, it looks like we're going to beat them next month. So I think we're looking all right. It's what's that? Is that part of Parkinson's law where they say, that you set your goals too low and then, short-term goals are too high, long-term goals are too low. It's like part of that. If I give myself 2 weeks to do a job, I'll take 2 weeks. If I give myself 8 weeks to do a job, I'll do it in 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of what I did. So we're good right now. Awesome. Everything's good here. How are you?
Time to readjust then.
Yeah, I think we're gonna just go and add the 2023 goal into the back end of 2022 and just say like, because we were looking at a $500,000 gross revenue at the end of 2022. Or I'm sorry, not gross revenue. Earnings before interest, depreciation, taxes, and appreciation. And now we're actually beating that with net cash flow. I think we might just set it for 1.2.
You're the only other one that I've ever heard use the acronym.
EBITDA.
EBITDA. I've been on a bunch of trainings the last couple weeks about EBITDA and how it plays into the valuations and where it sits, and we've been putting a lot of focus on that for us. Yeah, it's awesome to hear you use it. It's also like way up there for a lot of everybody else right now. But that's awesome to hear. And I kind of agree. Throw
that one
23 into the back end and see if you can get it.
That one. Yeah. Looking forward to it. Really looking forward to seeing if I can do it. I don't know if my wife is too happy about it, but if I can, I'll just buy an RV, get myself a capuchin monkey, and travel the country myself. Need somebody to have. You gotta have a friend.
As long as you come visit, and I get to see the monkey. All right, Chris. You're the only Chris on today, so I don't have to say Chris S or Chris C.
We're not close. We're not close to our goals with quarter one. The monthly goal was supposed to be to get 5 appointments. I'm starting to wonder if that was a little bit too much. We've gotten 2. We made more offers this month than we did the last quarter of last year, thankfully. So I think we're realigning things a little bit as far as our perspective. And what I mean by that is I think we shot for too high. I think we need to ground it a little bit more. So, but the back office stuff is going fine. Our goals for getting lead ball up and running is good. It's just getting appointments is a little low right now. So we need to reassess this week, actually.
Well, you've had a 100% growth in appointments in the month of February versus the month of January, correct?
Absolutely.
Because January you had 1. February you're at 2.
Yep.
So things are moving the right direction.
Slowly.
It's all right. Look at the positive. So what are we going to get done this week?
This week,
Try to round out this month here.
Yes, so we're launching a referral campaign this week. That's something that I think is of utmost importance to get out there. Once that's launched, the other offline marketing has begun this week. In other words, within the workflows, we're going to start getting postcards and letters out. So to be done this week, those are the 2 things that has to be done. And then readjust our goals for this first quarter to a little bit more manageable goals.
Okay. Let's go to Mickey next. I'm gonna go down and around.
Yes.
We're waiting.
Okay, I am going to get things done this week, and I am going to crush the part that I was responsible for my goals. And then I think the biggest priority that I had the last few weeks is launching the coaching business as a health and wellness coach, and then taking care of Atkins marketing and all was a lot for me. And so I'm very excited to outsource more to TRC to do most of the heavy lifting. Yes.
Okay. Marie.
I'm gonna say, isn't Liz on here?
Yeah, she's right next to you. Do you want me to pick on Liz instead of you?
No, it doesn't matter. We've been working a lot on our book. We've been meeting pretty much every day to finalize it before the end of the month. That was our goal. And I think we're on track to do that. So
We are. I'm sorry, I'm driving, so then I had to find where the freaking mute button was. But we are. We have 1 week left, and we're gonna have this freaking thing done for sure. So
Ready to go to the next step with it.
to the editing, yeah. So next step, I would say, would be editing it, and then somebody to pretty it up on the inside, which could actually be 2 different people essentially. But it, yeah. So it's gonna be done for sure because it has to be. We set the goal, and we're just gonna make sure that it's absolutely done.
Sweet. Good to hear. Good to hear. By the way, Lauren Olson says hi to the 2 of you.
Oh,
I had a nice conversation with her earlier, a little bit earlier today.
That's a good lady right there. So anybody else, if you ever come across her path, you can definitely learn from her. And she's a good one.
So random
For
side
sure.
fact, Lauren Olson was my first ever lender.
Yeah.
I met Lauren and I joined that other program about the same time. And at our very first boot camp together, I met her within like 10 minutes of being at the boot camp, and we got chatting. And by the time I left the boot camp, she was lending on a deal that I went to the boot camp specifically to try to get money in place for. And I've been good friends with Lauren ever since. And it was great to have a conversation today with her about kind of her next chapter, where she's going, how we're going to help her on that front. So let's see who's next.
Well, I just want to say real quick that that's about the goals right there. I mean, that's what this whole day is about too, that you put it out there that that's what you're going to accomplish while you were there. And, you were able to. So that's why everything we're saying, like right now, like what Chris just said a minute ago, they're going to get there. It's going to do it. You might have to adjust it a little bit, but it's just setting the goal and it'll get down there. It'll get done.
100%. All right, let's go to Keith, and then we'll go to Lorraine, and then Bob.
Hey guys, so goals. So for February, we had a goal to get 2 deals. We're still working on our first deal, but we're pounding the pavement. We were up till, I don't know, we're out past midnight last night hanging bandit signs. And then also creating workflows. So this week, like my 100% main focus is to create a workflow for pre-foreclosure high equity leads and a workflow for absentee owner leads, so that I can dump a CSV file that I have for each in there and get that sucker going. So those are my February goals, and that is what I seek to accomplish this week.
Okay. Lorraine.
Hello. Okay, so my goal for February was to increase my activity on YouTube by having more videos. So I have posted this month, I believe, 3 videos. And so I have another one that I need to edit and post. And then I'll also post a video from the webinar that I did this Saturday. So I'm on track for those. And then another focus of mine was content. Like I really want to be more intentional with my content. So I was able to speak with the company that's been doing my social media stuff and start to put in an action plan for my focus and my vision there for the real estate business and for the tax business. So just gonna continue to work on that, but things are moving in the right direction.
Okay. Bob.
Oh, I can't even give you bullshit because Chris is on here. So the goal for February was to get 3 properties under contract to set up for the short-term rentals, and kind of was like having a heart attack, and then got a phone call 2 days later with one guy who has 2 properties, one local, one in North Carolina, another property where I'm standing because I'm thinking outside the box, utilize my own property. So there's 3 right off the bat. Two of them are almost guaranteed. I had one that just popped up yesterday, another one the day prior, and then today was sitting with Shelly and Carla. I don't know if you guys know them. Shelly Frank, local Tampa. Anyway, did some collaboration here locally, and we're going to be looking at another property up north of Ybor. So 6 in a week and a half. And as if all goes well, I'll have my 3 locked up by Friday to include my own property. And then the other 3 will be in the works. That'll be probably sometime around mid-March.
Sweet. Got some good
Fell in
stuff running this week.
Fell in my lap.
I love it. Terry, round us out.
We're pretty much on progress. My main thing was just to get my back office squared away, pictures up in the office, and the office done that we've been procrastinating on. And with the 2 deaths in our family at the end of last year, that just created so much more documentation and stuff, and things are just piling up. So I've got all the files and everything pretty much done. Hope to finish that up tonight. Getting pictures up and everything else squared away. I don't know if that's going to happen. We're leaving Thursday to go see Ryan. So my punishment is that my wife and Ryan get to tater me with snowballs for as long as I can take it. So so we'll see. I'm doing my best. And then Gene DM'd me. I guess he's in San Diego coming up to Carlsbad. He wants to get together, so that may shoot one of my nights out here before we leave Thursday. But
Well,
doing
I'm
best
sorry
I
for that. I told him to hit you up.
okay. Oh, that's good. Well, I'd rather go see Gene than friggin' file documents or hang pictures. So I
That
don't
just
know.
means you got to get those done before you go see him.
I know, I know. But right now I'm gonna have to get off because I gotta go into the Oceanside Planning Department. So I was waiting for you to call on me before I jumped in there. So
Gotcha.
okay, but I'm doing my best. Other than that, you'll see a video of Ryan beating the hell out of me with snowballs.
That I definitely want to see.
I'm sure you do. Okay. She's
Oh.
got the perfect snowball maker, she called it. So
Awesome. Real quick, we're gonna fly around the horn again. Chris S, start us off. A, how are you doing with your punishment from January? And then B, what's your punishment if you don't make the goal for February?
Man, so my punishment was no drinking till that month. Honestly, it's been rough. It's been really rough. There's a bottle of wine sitting there and it's just collecting dust. I've never seen one sit there for so long. Second punishment is to extend it another 30 days.
Woo.
I don't know. I put my foot in my mouth on this one. This hasn't been a very fun punishment, to be honest. So, but it makes sense. I mean, I'm sitting there on a Friday looking around like, I should have got those appointments. I really should have. So it's a little bit more fire in the ass for it.
Okay. Keith.
So admittedly, I cannot recall January's, but I do recall February's to watch 2 hours of Lifetime with my wife. She is part of this. So I feel like I got to get her, I try to translate all the goal setting stuff to her. That's fine because that's not a punishment to her. But yeah, if we don't hit 2 deals this week and I don't get these workflows built out, then I'm going to sit down and watch friggin' Lifetime, which sucks. I hate it. I think I need to amp up my punishment for sure.
Okay. Marie, I don't think you were on a punishment for January. What is the punishment if you two don't make it for the book at the end of this week?
I don't know, but this is the first time I'm hearing about punishments. So you guys are kind of making me a little nervous over here now. Shit.
I know, and I honestly, Marie, I didn't come up with one because I even said it is not fair. I cannot come up with a punishment without her, so we did not determine one. So I guess we need to now. What the heck?
Failure is not an option, Sean. It's just not an
Yep.
option.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
But-
don't need punishment.
My punishment for January, if I didn't hit the goal in January, was I had to cancel on our Grand Canyon trip last weekend. Obviously, I hit my goal in January, which is why I was able to go on that trip. So my goal for February is, if I hit that, all's good. But if we missed our goal for February, which I'm coming to the wire on it, then I have to cancel our birthday trip, which won't be fun either. Which is why
Yeah.
I'll get it done this week.
Punishment.
I know, so we're just gonna get it done.
sounds Awful, so that might be a good punishment for me. For me to not drink for 30 days would be
I
brutal.
can't, no. I can't do it because I'm going to Mexico. That would.
Well,
that
we don't
really be
have to have
bad.
the same punishment. It's like Keith just said, it's not fair if we have the same punishment. You might have to have your own punishment.
You're part of a team. You're only as strong as your weakest link.
Right.
So Bob, what's your
Yep.
punishment?
For this month,
Yeah, remind everybody if you don't get there by the end of this week.
it's 100 continuous burpees.
I remember that one. That was pretty brutal.
It's
Zoom with
about
me,
10
man.
minutes. It's about 10 minutes nonstop. It will kick the living crap out of you.
Let's do it. I'm in.
That sounds-
Vicky, what was yours if you didn't get to where you wanted to be at the end of the month? And it probably involves Aisa somehow.
No, she gotta have her own because it's not a punishment to her mind. Mine was, and this is really brutal, it's like going without my dark chocolate. For
Oh,
1 month.
no dark chocolate.
No dark chocolate.
Oh,
Like this is very serious, like super serious.
seeing
Like
how
Lorraine is giggling like
Lorraine's
this is
laughing
really
at-
serious.
seeing how the women attacked the gift basket I brought to an event the other night because it had dark chocolate in it, I can imagine.
It's the best thing on earth, really. And so yes, this week I'm getting things done.
Is it the
Seriously.
70% or the 50%? You got to
No,
clarify.
no. I do
Nice.
85 and plus.
All right.
My
I-
sweet spot is actually 92. 92 is amazing.
No, it's not.
So it's not pertinent to Aisa.
So Aisa, what's yours?
No, it's not. But you know, it is for her. And hi, everybody. I'm sorry I trailed in. For Mickey, that's the only sweet that she eats.
So
Can
what's
you hear
yours
me?
if
I'm
you don't
sorry.
get there by the end of the week?
I'm sorry.
What was yours if you don't get your stuff for February accomplished, which is the end of this week?
I will have to get up every morning at basically I'll have to go drop my high schooler every morning and start work that early. Because I like to even if I'm awake, I like to stay in bed in the morning. So Mickey can tell you that's a punishment for me to have to get up real early every morning.
Got it.
Be specific, Aisa, how early?
Lorraine,
So my punishment was that I have to be strict on my keto diet. So no carbs, no pasta, no alcohol, anything like that. So that, no, because I need mac and cheese. It's cold, so I need to warm from the inside. So yeah. Mm-mm. So I will not be happy if I don't have carbs, mainly pasta. I enjoy pasta.
Depending on your alcohol, you can warm up and still stay on your keto.
Well, yeah, true. There are, because I have done keto very strictly, but I've hit my goals, so I kind of lapsed on it a little bit. Right, whiskey. I only drink straight, is it wine, whiskey, or water? That's pretty much it. So
like whiskey or what? The triple
Yeah.
W's.
all W's. That's
I
what I
like
do.
that.
So yeah, that would be
All right.
not
Well,
fun.
I don't want to see anybody have punishments, which means y'all need to get on the ball and get your week accomplished so that you can hit your marks,
Mhm.
so that you don't have to punish yourself. Now, there's nobody holding you accountable to the punishment, so it's up to you. So, Chris, congratulations for holding yourself truly accountable. I bet your dad's kind of holding you there too, but we'll still give you the credit for that. But I want to go into something slightly that's going to set us up for later this week. It'll come more into play probably on Wednesday when we get talking some things marketing. And then Thursday, for those of you that are Lead Vault users, we'll probably kind of shift more into the technical aspects of some of this stuff, how we leverage Lead Vault to do it. And that's something I've actually been building right now that I'll probably have available to show you by Wednesday. By Thursday, we'll be able to show kind of the back end and the really technical side of it. Okay. But this was inspired from, I don't know if you guys saw my post. I think it was last Thursday. Some of you guys know her, some of you don't, but Dr. Andrea came and spent a couple hours at the office with me, where we kind of powwowed for probably a good 60, 70, maybe even 80 minutes on everything that she's got out there and really trying to kind of clean up her practice, because some of you guys know she's moved on, has her own office, has her own practice now. She is 100% responsible for whether she keeps patients on her table because she kills her patients. None of you guys are part of that joke. Terry had to jump off, but she's 100% responsible for keeping patients coming through her door. And she does a really good job with them once she gets them in. But where she was struggling is talking about how do I get that flow? How do I keep that flow coming? And within about 10 minutes of talking to her, we were able to completely fill up a whiteboard with ideas and then kind of shift into more of a 30, 60, 90-day game plan to execute on it. Okay. But I want to kind of hit the top level thought process on all of this. Let me let this pull up. I already told it to trust. Come on. Try that again. There we go. Chris, I see your big mug right now. Do you see the whiteboard? All right, cool. So as Andrea and I got talking, and we kind of started dissecting a bunch of stuff, I've been talking a little bit about funnels the last couple of weeks. And even though there's multiple funnels, and how many of you guys remember the drawing I did a couple of weeks ago where it was like this funnel could lead to this funnel, and this funnel is actually the kind of the top component of this one, right? Or maybe they come out of this funnel and end up over in this side over here. Just give me a thumbs up if you remember kind of that drawing. So that's all fine and dandy. We understand that component of it. But in reality, at the end of the day, our business is really nothing more than one large funnel made up of a bunch of little funnels all throughout the inside of it. I don't know why that big line got there. But we have this one large funnel. And inside of this funnel is all those little components and all the other stuff that's inside of it, or all our different components of our business. And as Andrea and I were talking, we really kind of identified that there's three distinct areas to focus on in the funnel. Number one being what we call top of funnel offers.
Are you drawing on that whiteboard?
Yeah, I don't think anyone can see anything. I don't think it's showing.
I am drawing on it and it's showing up on my end.
We're not seeing it.
It's working on all ends.
Babe.
About now.
Oh,
There
there's
we go.
That's weird. I don't know why you didn't see the drawing. Are you seeing, like, I just drew a red line. Did you see that come on there?
yeah.
All right. So now it's working. I don't know what was going on before. So we have these three components. Top of funnel. We have our mid-level funnel offers. And we have our bottom or what I like to call our signature offer. In real estate, the bottom of the funnel or our signature offer is what? Chris, take a guess.
A deal? I mean,
Yeah, we buy houses, right? We give money. We make offers on things. That's the bottom of this overall funnel, right? All these other little components, all the stuff that we've been breaking down. When we take a step back and look high level at it, our signature service in real estate is we buy deals, right? We buy opportunities. For most of us, some of us have little uniquenesses outside of that on there, but for the predominant area, right? We can all agree in real estate, signature services, boom, we buy something. Lorraine, yours is slightly different. Your signature service, this is where the JV sexy name that you have to come up with comes in, right? That's our program. That's our signature service. Mickey, in this new coaching business you want to launch, there's going to be a signature service. There's the predominant element of it, right? TRC, our signature service, isn't the consulting side, isn't coaching. It's we provide SEO services with highly developed websites. Does it make sense so far? Quick thumbs up. The problem with most of our marketing, or what I should say, the problem with most businesses marketing is it only sells and it only pushes to one of these three components. And Keith, what do you think? Number one, number two, number three, top, middle, or bottom? What do you think the predominant, everybody's always pushing all of their marketing to push against?
I would say, I mean, just going off of what we've learned so far, they're going straight for the end, going straight for number 3.
100%.
The next step, but selling the end result.
Most businesses try to solely focus on only marketing their signature service. And where can this become problematic, or why is this problematic?
I'll jump in and give a quick answer. I won't drag on. I feel like it has to do with what your analogy of the book you're writing about, marketing is like dating. Forgive me about the title, but you don't build trust, you don't build rapport, you don't go through that nurturing or grooming sort of process that needs to happen to get somebody to buy into your service. Only focusing on selling that service rather than, hey, would you like to, hook up for coffee? Then would you like to hook up for lunch? Then would you like to hook up for, you know what I'm saying? Like, makes perfect sense in my mind.
Absolutely. How many of you remember the stats of the buyer's journey? How many are down here where we call them now buyers? What's the percentage?
1 to 3.
1 to 3. 1 to 3% of people are now buyers. So that means over here on the future buyer side, what's the percentage left?
Up to 97%.
Yeah, 97 to 99% of people are on that future buyer. Well, the problem with trying to market solely to our bottom funnel signature offer core thing that we do is we're really only talking to who? Future or now?
But now the 1 to 3%, you're not focusing on all the other stuff that you could be losing on opportunities for the same exact product.
Absolutely.
Boom.
And we have to have a blend. There still has to be a space in this plan and a time for that person that's ready, that is part of that now category, that is ready to the 1 to 3%, that are going to move on right this minute because we've hit them at the right moment in time, right? But the majority of what's going on, the majority of our day-to-day, majority of our month-to-month marketing really needs to be focused on this 97 to 99% of people who would be ideally suited for more of a top of funnel, more of a middle of funnel type of offer. Does this make sense so far? Yes?
Yeah, give a market.
Now, the signature offer is stupid easy to figure out. It's the core. It's the main thing that you do. Bob, you're trying to buy short-term rentals. That's your signature offer. You buy these type of properties because this is what you do with them. You make short-term type rentals out of them. Lorraine, your core offer is really simple. I do joint venture deals with people interested in investing in notes that don't want to do it all on their own. Right? Marie, Liz, you guys are focusing on individuals with multiple properties that want to get out of them and don't want to get smashed by capital gains. Mickey, your coaching side that you're going to launch, insert X, right? That is the whatever that offer is going to be, whatever that core service is going to be. Problem is 1 to 3% are the only ones that are going to be ready to get there. So I need to spend more time focusing on attracting the 97 to 99% of people. And I can't put the core offer in front of them because it doesn't make sense. They're not ready for it. It's like asking for marriage on date 1, right? So I have to take a step back now and ask myself, okay, what is a offer? What is something that can warm them up for that? And I made a post a couple of weeks ago where I said the job of your marketing is to sell the next step in your process. How many of you guys remember that post? I see Keith shaking his head, Mickey, okay. This is what I meant by it. The job of our top level marketing is to sell somebody on whatever that offer is. This offer is, its whole job is to sell somebody on this offer. And this offer's job is to sell somebody on the bottom, my signature. We all still tracking? Mickey, I see a hand up. Let me get your question before I go too deep here.
I was just thinking, at least now for the coaching business, the clients that I have are really the 1 to 3%, right? Because I'm getting them on roll and having their breakthrough done and all. Yet, it's like you have to move everything simultaneously, like playing at that level to have that conversion happening and then building the top of the funnel so that eventually you're having like this, once this momentum is like either dying or like growing into becoming, having the other leads coming in.
Absolutely. It's probably the only downfall to using the diagram of a funnel. Somebody doesn't need to come into the top to get to the bottom. People are going to be ready for your bottom funnel offer, right? Your core signature offer. So kind of look at it like there's doorways here. Right? There's a doorway, and a doorway. They can enter at any stage of it where it fits where they're at. We just need to make sure that we have each of these. We need to understand that the job of this offer up here is not to try to get them down here to my signature. It's only to move them to here. And then this job of this offer is to get them down to here. Now, I don't want to go too deep into what is at each phase and these type of things. That's going to get us more into Wednesdays, but to just kind of put a quick analogy together here to give you something to chew on and think about. As we started to look at Andrea's business and what she has going on, she started throwing out a few kind of components. She's like, I got a 6-week challenge that I run. I've got a book that I'm about to be finishing because she realized in her space, she really needs a book. She needs to author a book as a doctor because everybody she competes against, they've got books. She's like, I've got a Facebook group. I've got social media that I can be active in, these type of things, right? So we really started to kind of break it down and look at which components of these would fall in different categories. And she wants to be able to monetize some of them, and other ones could be completely given away for free. And as we got talking deeper, Lorraine, Marie, Chris, you guys probably remember, she did a teaching at the Unleash Your Inner Lion event on the 4 elements of success, right? She's like, Sean, I got an entire recording of that. I got resources, I got documents, I've got downloadables for all of that kind of stuff. It's all ready to go. It's all over the place. I just got to get it all together, but I have all of that kind of stuff together. Well, Lorraine, where do you think something like that would fall? Top, middle, or bottom?
Top.
Top. So we're like, okay, the 4-pillar video download, all that kind of stuff. That's a free offer that would be great for the 97 to 99% of people who are curious. Curious on how Andrea, with her type of services, can help, right? Not ready to come in, lay down on her table and get poked with needles and prodded and cupped and, you know, mummy wrapped and all the other crazy things that she does. And the herb treatments and all that. They're curious, right? Safety, can sit in my house, watch a video, learn a little bit about 4 kind of pillars to success, and how sleep and exercise and all these kind of components come together, right? So we can gate that free. All this really is a big old lead magnet. Lorraine, your monthly webinar series. It's a top of funnel, free lead magnet style offer, right? Low threshold, no commitment. Join me on a webinar and learn. Simple as that, right?
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Now, what do you think for Andrea? Her 4 pillars should sell. Should it sell directly to the bottom? Her signature service, come in and spend sign up for a monthly ongoing service with me to better your health and mobility and these type of things? Or could we put a little less of a threshold offer in between that and the free? Yeah. And this is where her 6-week challenge and her book came into play. Her book, she could give it away free, or it could be on Amazon for $14.95. So she made a little money off of it, or it's a great tool to be able to, like, hey, join my 6-week challenge, get a free copy of my book. Well, her 6-week challenge, low threshold still, right? Don't want to go too crazy with it. She's debating somewhere between $25 and $39 to join that 6-week challenge. Doesn't take much out of her time to do it. It's more of a, hey, show up once a week. She trains on something, talks on something, whatever. They go about their week. They do this every week for 6 straight weeks. Now she got really creative with it, sweetened up the pot a little bit, and she's got it built in where they pay this fee, but at the end of the challenge, somebody is going to win $150. Kind of like the Biggest Loser kind of challenge, right? Whoever loses the most weight kind of thing. She's got some parameters around it, and the winner of that 6-week challenge is going to walk away with $150. So you spend $25 to $35, $40 with an opportunity to maybe win $150 back after doing what you're supposed to have done for the 6 weeks. Warms them up a little bit more, right? Her signature offer, her monthly kind of thing, she's got people paying her $1,000+ a month to see her on a regular basis. A little less threshold at $25 to $40 to see if they like Andrea, these type of things. This making sense so far?
Mm-hmm.
So then we look back and said, okay, where does something like her own Facebook group fall into play? Well, there's a couple ways that that could be done. It could be done in the mid-tier, join my 6-week program, get access to a Facebook group. Or where else could it fit earlier in the process? Top of the funnel, where she's got a free Facebook group where she's like, okay, this makes sense. I can just commit to showing up in that Facebook group once a week for about 20 minutes. She took a thing that I used to do like crazy. I called it Coffee with Sean. How many of you guys remember those old live videos that I used to do called Coffee with Sean? Some of you guys used to follow me back then. Every Wednesday for about 45 minutes on a Wednesday, I would go live on Facebook and I just called it Coffee with Sean. And I just talked about stuff. People that were on, they'd ask questions. I'd answer questions. I'd just come up with some topic and I'd talk about it. But I used to also do this thing where I would hit my database. I'd email a bunch of business owners and say, hey, let's have a virtual coffee. We can't see each other and go for a coffee, but let's jump on a Zoom, spend 20 minutes. Let's have a virtual coffee together. I just want to see how you're doing and how's business going. I used to land clients like crazy out of that. Well, she's been doing it that way, and it's been getting her people coming back to her, and then she has generated new business from it. She's like, I'll just take that same kind of concept and I'll just start doing it virtually in a Facebook group now. She's got a Facebook group of a couple hundred people. She just hasn't been consistent with it. Well, that's top of the funnel stuff, right? Awareness level. So now a lot more marketing can go out about, hey, get access to my 4 pillars to success, free video series with downloads and directions and all this stuff. And join my free Facebook group where I show up every Wednesday at 1:00 and talk for 35, 40 minutes. And feel free to get your questions answered. But the 4 pillars and the Facebook group, what do you think she's focusing on selling from there? What's the next thing that's in the funnel?
I would guess, yeah, that
6-week challenge. And we're in week 3 of this current 6-week challenge. That's all right. Join the wait list for the next 6-week challenge starting in a few weeks. Meanwhile, they're still hanging out up here in that Facebook group, continually being nurtured. And yes, at some time, it's going to happen where somebody will move through this chain a little bit faster and want to become bottom funnel eligible, right? They won't necessarily need the 6-week. They're ready to just jump to it because Andrea's done her job, warmed them up enough, so on and so forth. We still tracking here? Now, I don't want to go too much deeper. Kind of get a little deeper on Wednesday, talking a little bit about more specific for those that are on. My plan is to try to break down kind of your 3 tiers while we're on a call. Because out of this, I was able to really fast give Andrea, hey, in 30 days, before you come back and hang out with me for a half a day, here's the checklist of stuff that needs to get done. Here's what I want done next week, sent into the team. Here's what I want you to get together. Here's what I need you to have done by this point. Here's what needs to be done by the end of the 30 days. Here's what's on the burner for 60 days from now. Here's what's on the burner for 90 days from now. So as she left here the other day, she had a really clear plan of what needs to happen over the next 90 days to have all 3 of these tiers rocking and rolling and be able to just start pushing people in and moving people through the process. So between now and Wednesday, I want you guys to start thinking just a little bit. You all should know your bottom tier. You all know what your core like the core thing that your business is focused on. Start thinking through what are some mid-tier, what are some top tier. top of funnel, middle of funnel, and ideally the middle of funnel. This is where I'd like to see some small money coming in. This is what we call, oops. Break-even marketing right here. It's not meant to make us money. It's meant to break us even. It's meant to cover the cost of marketing for a business. $35 is not much on a 6-week challenge. But when she has 80, 100 people in a 6-week challenge at $35 a person, it's a decent chunk of change to put towards marketing to get more people into the top of the funnel, more people into the next 6-week challenge, right? Because the job of the 6-week challenge is to move them to the one-on-one service, where now that's where she's going to actually make money. Good. With the few minutes we have left, thoughts, comments, questions. What do we got? I see some wheels going.
I think somehow I can figure out for Dr. Andrea, because it's just super fun to have, like, the book coming in and the challenges and all. But on the real estate side, it is foggy for me to go ahead and figure out all of those, at least, the tiers, like, yeah. But yes, we'll have to think about it.
Yeah, I would agree with Mickey. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm trying to apply, I guess, maybe some things that I'm doing in my business to the funnel that you just described. And I think I have the top piece and the third piece, but I'm struggling with how to figure out what to go in the middle to kind of link them or kind of drive them through the funnel. So I don't know.
I have a question for.
Hold on one second, Lorraine.
Okay.
How many hours and roughly how many different tasks do you do for that asset management component, that asset management fee that we talked about earlier?
How many steps I do? Maybe like 4 or 5, roughly, I guess.
And how long does it take you to do those 4 or 5?
A lot of it depends on the responsiveness of the whoever I'm calling for to get information, but I would say it could take a couple of days, possibly. Only because if I'm calling and I need to get information, somebody needs to get back to me or whatever. So I would say on average a couple of days.
Okay, now what if you just made a checklist of those things to do and handed it to Bob? How long is it going to take Bob to figure it out?
Probably longer than a couple of days.
Can Bob even figure it out?
Depending on how I describe it, yes, he could, but
can Bob fully achieve it?
Not without my help. Bob, you're pretty smart though. I'm sure you could, but for the purposes of this explanation, we're going to say no.
Would Bob even want to put up with the headaches once he started to realize what goes into it?
No.
That's what makes a
definitely
perfect,
not Bob.
That's what makes a perfect middle tier.
But how?
Say it again, Sean. Say it again, that perfect one. I want to write it down.
What makes the perfect tier, the perfect middle tier, is where we give somebody, basically give them all the answers in exchange for, is why I like small dollar amounts, in exchange for, that's a $2,500 value that you would give out, Lorraine, because you charge people that you do this with $2,500 in an asset management fee, right? So $2,500 value that I'm going to sell you for $40, $30, $25, right? But I know you can't get through the whole thing. And the random 1% of people that actually could buy that, and that's all they ever need, and they go on to make success happen, kudos to them. They're the rare 1%, right? Let them do it. 99% of the other people, though, they get that and they can't make it all the way. So a perfect middle tier is something where we give the answers, but we already, in exchange for some sort of compensation with high value, that I know they can't do it all.
Okay, that makes sense. And I would have to figure out what that looks like, because a lot of it is the inventory. So I mean, obviously I'm not giving out inventory or giving out addresses or anything like that. But the other piece of that is the due diligence, to be confident enough to know whether it's a deal or not. So that's actually interesting. I would have to figure out how to compile this in a way that's digestible, but then also beneficial and profitable. That's a good idea. Thank you. Yeah, I'd have to figure out what that looks like.
In real estate, I think something that would be really cool to test it, see how well it actually worked, like a fully compiled step-by-step roadmap with connections and everything in your local market for somebody, like think of it like a the for sale by owner checklist, or the for sale by owner guidebook. All right, where it's like, here you go, Mr. So-and-so that's interested in selling your home. Here's how you can do it just like us, without any realtors. Have fun. Because what? They still got to do a lot of work. They got to build relationships. They got to make phone calls. They got to set up appointments. They got to do certain things with title and escrow, right? And the different lending. They got to learn how to vet and verify the buyers and all these kind of things. Is there the rare 1% that will take that and be good with it? Sure. There's always the YouTube educator or the YouTube university expert who can watch YouTube videos and get away with making success happen. Great. That's not the norm. Remember, this mid-tier thing isn't meant for us to be like, Liz, Marie, your book it's the mid-tier piece. It could be used and dangled at top funnel, but it's also could be sitting out there at mid funnel where it's like $14, $15. They think by reading the book, getting the book, they're going to learn everything that they need to know to not get crushed by capital gains. And some could, but others are still going to be left with a bunch of questions. And where's that cup that brings them to the bottom funnel? My signature offer, we take all that headache and stress away from you. Work with us. We'll navigate that whole entire water. And hell, you can split your bottom funnel into two things. Pay us and we'll consult you through the whole entire process. We won't even buy your property, but we'll consult you into figuring the whole thing out, or we'll just buy the house from you, buy the properties from you. And really, that could be in any real estate business. You guys don't have to buy a house to make money. So what? The offer that you would give Mr. or Mrs. Seller doesn't work for them? Great. We also have a consulting plan where we'll help you navigate the waters and put you in touch with our contractors and help you negotiate with our contractors a good price to fix your house up, to get it on the market. We'll help negotiate a price with our real estate agents to list your property on the back end. We'll help you line up your staging and everything else. Here's the fee for that service. Any other thoughts, comments?
Great ideas. This is really helpful.
I just wonder
At least
how
for me. I'll just be
this sort of discouragement marketing. Like, that's what here you go. Here's all the stuff you can do by your, you know what?
What'd you say originally, Keith? It cut off.
I said, I wonder how many times I have fallen for this. Not fallen, but yeah, fallen, this discouragement type marketing. Like,
you probably fell for it a ton of times. We all did.
Yeah, right. It's brilliant.
What do you think my book is going to be?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's
My book is just another mid-tier / carrot for the top tier for TRC and REI Toolbox. Marketing is like dating, the ultimate guide to digital marketing for real estate investors. I lay out a ton of valuable gold. Guess what? It's all the same valuable gold Roger and I preach and preach and preach every single day on these calls. And look, some of you guys are still sitting here, still trying to figure it out. You think reading a book is going to do it? Yeah, there's the 1% that do it. Cool. Awesome. Run with it. Congrats. I'm glad I was able to play a small percentage of, piece in your success.
Well, and there's the lucky one too, right? That does have some easy $1 million idea and they just go and run with it, but that's not the norm.
It's not the norm. So yeah, Keith, if you've ever filled out a form because somebody put a checklist in front of you or whatever, this is all this is. Lose weight in 30 days with the keto diet. Get my free ebook on exactly how. It's 6 pages long. And then all of a sudden they take you to another page. It's like, oh, you want recipes? Because what's the number one struggle with keto? Can't think of enough things to eat that are different to stay on it. Well, here, let me sell you for $35 a recipe guide. Oh, wait, that still doesn't work because you still need somebody to coach you one-on-one to stay committed to this thing and that kind of stuff. Yep, let me go ahead and upsell you to my signature service now. This is marketing 101.
I'm going to recoin the phrase though to the meat and cheese diet, and then I can have my own book.
There you go. Any other thoughts, comments, questions? We're going to go deeper on this on Wednesday. Those that are on the call Wednesday, we're going to break down I'm going to basically crash course what I did in like 2 hours with Andrea with you. All good?